My name is Dolores Sabia Bigfoot. I'm of the Caddo Nation of Oklahoma and also affiliated with the Northern Cheyenne Tribe of Montana. I am an associate professor and the director of the Indian Country Child Trauma Center and also the director of the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, Tribal Youth Training and Technical Assistance Center at the University of Oklahoma Health Sciences Center. With the support of the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, it is my great pleasure to bring a unique training opportunity free of charge to federally recognized tribes across the United States, including Alaska. With the support from the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, the Indian Country Child Trauma Center is supporting the release of virtual avatar training simulations. As we all work to build systems of care for serving our tribal youth, it will be critical that every youth, every parent, and professional be part of the solution to build skills in identifying and referring youth that may be struggling. A system of care is a coordinated network of community services that literally wrap around our tribal youth and their families to help them live healthy, happy, and productive lives. We are all part of this system of care, from health and mental health providers to teachers, child welfare workers, community health representatives, and even law enforcement. Training teachers and youth is good for everyone in the system of care, but mostly it helps our youth and our families. To tell you more about this unique training opportunity for tribes, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Jamie Barges, one of our faculty at the Indian Country Child Trauma Center and also one of the leading researchers who is examining this technology solution for Indian Country.
Hello, my name is Dr. Jamie Barges. I'm a proud citizen of the Tsalaki Cherokee Nation. I'm here to talk to you about this avatar simulation training that directly builds skills for prevention in Indian Country. The history of this project begins in 2010 when I began contributing to national efforts in Washington, D.C. to support health services for American Indian and Alaska Native people. I was introduced to Dr. Glenn Albright, co-founder of a tech company in New York called Cognito. Dr. Albright had been reading articles about the impact of suicide in tribal communities, and he thought the training simulation might be able to help. We started a journey together to determine how these simulations might be available and more tailored to American Indian and Alaska Native communities. Years later, we are excited to release 2 multicultural gatekeeper training simulations to the tribes. A gatekeeper is a person trained to identify the signs and symptoms of emotional distress and to support a person in accessing care. Imagine if every youth, family member, and professional in your community had these skills. To help you understand the potential of the simulation, imagine that you are playing a video game where you get to interact by selecting options, and by practicing, you actually build your skills. The avatar simulations are like a flight simulation for a pilot to practice flying, but for mental health. These simulations build important skills for a range of people across the community that interact with young people in a variety of settings. While Cognito has many simulations to train youth, community members, and health professionals, 2 important simulations are being released to support your local youth to learn gatekeeper skills so that they can help their friends, and an additional simulation for their high school teachers to identify at-risk students and refer them to care. The advantages to these simulations for tribal communities is that they are accessible 24/7, developed for a multicultural audience, address stigma about mental and emotional challenges and help seeking, can be completed in multiple settings, are created with school and mental health experts as well as with youth that have lived experience in recovery. They also decrease the embarrassment by practicing skills with a virtual human. And they eliminate someone having to play the role of someone experiencing negative emotions, which could have a real impact on that person's feelings and well-being. The high school teacher simulation is on national evidence-based practices lists and has been documented to be effective with a sample of diverse American Indian and Alaska Native people across the country. Most importantly, the simulations build in motivational interviewing, a best practice shown to be effective in tribal communities, which builds the user's skills in increasing motivation to seek help. Further, because the avatar is programmed to provide you with a quality training every single time, we know the training has fidelity or follows the intervention as it is most effectively implemented. While we hope and expect this training will be useful for tribal communities and is already undergoing tribally specific simulation development for law enforcement officers, there are some potential challenges that you may need to overcome to address the unique culture of your community. First, this is the very first time we are implementing these simulations with tribal communities directly. We expect that we will learn from you on how to improve the usefulness for tribes as you use the simulations. Second, the simulations are built for multicultural audiences and are not yet tribally specific. There may be cultural nuances that may need disclaimers in your community. For example, in some tribal cultures, youth not making eye contact is a sign of respect. But in non-native communities, this may be observed as a risk factor. You may need to let your teachers know if this is a behavior of respect before they take the training, so they don't misinterpret this as a risk in your community. While the simulations we have available to you today are developed for a multicultural audience, we are getting closer and closer to tribally specific simulations. Meet Mrs. Yazzie, the first avatar teacher supporting skills building for teachers in the Southwest, so that they may identify the signs of bullying and related emotional distress for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender youth. Mrs. Yazzie demonstrates the potential for developing simulations that can realistically reflect real experiences in tribal communities. Meet Officer Harjo and Sergeant Redbird. These officers are being developed now with our team and subject matter experts in tribal juvenile justice to train law enforcement officers in how to be more trauma-informed in their practices with local tribal youth on tribal lands. These are the first of many tribal avatars in the tribe of trainers we hope to build with Indian Country. There are two additional unique benefits to tribes who choose to use this technology. First, the simulation is customizable to include your local resources to help people access care. Many communities include both formal services like mental health providers and informal services like access to spiritual community leaders and prevention programming that may support youth in accessing care. Our long-term goal is to ensure that every individual in the community is trained to help each other out. Working with schools is a great start for any community in the system of care. If teens and their teachers can help identify and refer troubled youth to care, this reduces the number of youth that are being picked up by law enforcement for perceived delinquent behavior, among other negative health and life outcomes for youth that live without help or treatment. Second, the tribe will be able to get their data back specific to their local community, and the evaluation is automated to collect pre, post, and 3-month follow-up data after training. This will allow the tribes to evaluate how effective the simulations are in their own local community. While we are very excited about the possibilities that avatar simulations may have for tribes, we couldn't have these trainings available if it weren't for some very important people that have helped us along the way. First, I want to thank all of my generations of women that I stand on the shoulders of, and I'm very blessed and thankful to my elders and to Dr. Bigfoot for providing me the mentorship and believing in me and the innovation of what is possible. Most importantly, I want to acknowledge the role of youth in teaching and educating us to do better in our work and our lives. Finally, I want to thank the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention for believing in us and for their generosity in supporting tribal systems of care. Without them, these trainings would not be possible.